In this episode, you'll learn how to balance your energy so that you're running with a sustainable intensity. Welcome to Energy Alignment for Entrepreneurs, the podcast helping online service based entrepreneurs reduce stress, balance emotions, and grow a profitable business in less time. I'm your host, Justin Igliskis. Let's hop into it. In today's episode, you'll discover the fastest way to get results without forcing and breaking down. Two angles to change how you see where you stand now, and why those who want never get. So ultimately, when we're looking at the paradox of success, let's start with why those who want never get. And there are levels to how I define success. Let's look at that. Because, right, you may have an insurance job on a good salary, but that salary may not be balanced, as in maybe you have good money, but your health, your energy, your inspiration outside of work, your overall life besides the salary isn't too smooth. So what happens is, right, you don't know all of that before you get the job. Sometimes you have to go through these stages where you just didn't realize it. And now you're in that situation where it's not all that you'd had thought it to be. It's not all that it was made up to be. And why those who want never get. This is that balance of being so, and it can almost pull the word brutal into the conversation, being so brutally honest with yourself to see, where am I rooted right now? What's my motive in relationship to how I'm looking at this specific situation? Where we have success, for example, and a lot of us, when we're young, we just don't question enough. We don't have that foresight to put ourselves in our future self shoes and kind of zoom out. But some of you can feel, when you're considering an idea, that it's just not for you. And then you're also going to have a conflict because part of you does get excited by a shiny object or materialistic goals or shallow pursuits, because we do live in a material world and there are responsibilities that need to be paid for. So then a lot of us say, well, let me just get secure in this job. And it's that security which actually ruins your life, which is extremely paradoxical right there. Because I'm not saying be homeless. I'm not saying don't have a job. It's not what I'm saying. I am saying that there's a way for you to create an income where your heart actually aligns with how you generate that money. And you may have to find yourself creating income for a while and realize your heart is being choked and your whole life is falling out of balance. And to realize that this security had its place in my journey. I needed to feel what it feels to be choked off. But now, right? Take the insurance job, for example. Like, you sign up for that insurance job from a place of wanting security. Now, maybe you don't put it into words like that. Well, it's like, oh, my mom wants me to be secure. School told me this was right. My professors encourage that this is a great route to go down. So there are other variables, of course, but after you're honest, brutally honest, you may get to this place in your journey where you just start to see the things that you want are not exactly what you need. And then you get a little better as you continue to walk this journey in feeling, is there a conflict? Like, am I pursuing this thing that I desire and it's not actually something I need, but it's like a desire to impress others or a weak, shallow desire, etc. You get my point. Now, two angles to change how you see where you currently stand. And so this is where the patience and the dissatisfaction in the title come in because you you can't just be over obsessed with change. Why? That's an energy of lack and scarcity, right? Because if you're just so discontent, dissatisfied with your current situation, that is implying that there's scarcity, that you're trying hard to escape something, implying that you're running, that there is a lack of abundance inside, and that internally there may be some fear too, or some insecurity. Now, those words are just words. Don't get offended. I'm not saying you uh, are always insert emotionally packed label. No, but to be honest is to have the courage. It all starts with courage to shine light on your own darkness. And that's where we really have to break down, where do I stand now? Right? Because as you get clear on where you're standing now, then this entire mechanism of awareness will start to deepen and you'll notice your own daily resistance toward where you are. You'll notice the things that you do that waste your energy, that prevent you from moving. So, hence, you stay where you are because you waste energy. And then you start to be aware of all that and you waste less energy and then you use your energy more clearly, more naturally, in a aligned essence, and that changes where you are. So then now your results come faster, but you're not obsessed with getting the results faster. You just started to see that, wait, this resistance toward where I am is actually slowing my pace down. So that's the patient, yes, patient yet dissatisfied balance of all right, well, maybe things are changing, and I do fully understand that the only constant is change. Okay, cool. But on the other hand, sometimes I get stuck, right? Sometimes I feel that my mind, my energy has got caught. Well, how do I work from there? And let's go into the next point, the fastest way to get results without forcing and breaking down. So, this is pretty much built upon the self honesty, the brutal self honesty. Because as you do this work, which is being so real with yourself about the thoughts you think, the dopamine you consume, the food that you're eating, and the way that you use your energy in terms of you have a initial thought. Do you notice that thought? Or do you just start speaking? Do you speak without even having an awareness of what energy you're creating, right? Because in Latin, that word abracadabra, years ago, it was defined as I create as I speak. And the essence of religion in Latin, the word religion is defined as the capacity to gather all your energy. So, the fastest way to get results without forcing and breaking down, number one, yeah, the hint is within the question. And that is the fastest way is without forcing. So, that's number one, to have the awareness, to do the work, to be honest, so that you're noticing when you're forcing. And force is a metaphysical thing. Sure, you can physically, materially force a key into a lock, break the lock and the key. Sure. But metaphysically, you can feel the friction in your gut. You can feel the walls caving in your lungs. You can notice your body as you're an energetic being, not just like you weren't just thrown here by accident, right? Our bodies have been created intelligently. All the organs are in specific places, right? Our cellular walls have a specific distance, width, and length. All the materials in our body, like the nutrients, the fluids, the membranes. It's all insanely complicated. Now, you don't need to be a scientist to understand the beauty, which is the complexity of intelligence. But at the same time, right? Can intelligence be simplified? Can we talk about it in a way where, you know, average Joe starts to learn about the nature of what they are, what you are, what I am, and the power of your thoughts, your words, and just your total awareness that you're not exactly who you think yourself to be. So, this is really that's the culmination of the fastest way to get results without forcing and breaking down is you really begin to have awareness of who you are, what you're putting out there, how what you do affects who you are, and you do this work and it gets clearer and clearer and clearer. Now, it's not just a linear, that's logic trying to measure something which really what we're talking about here is not a field of measurement. Like, awareness isn't related to science. It's not it's the field of all fields, if we're being totally honest. That doesn't make me the professor. No, no. I'm just talking. And that's the point of the awareness is to realize that it's in us all and that it's not special to any individual. Now, at the same time, there are individual levels of awareness expanding, but I don't control that. You don't control that. We can't desire for this to happen, but it is just a line of work that if you feel called to do, you'll find yourself doing what you need to do. That's as practical as I'm going to get there. So, overall, the recap the fastest way to get results without forcing and breaking down, prioritizing what matters, sometimes pushing limits, but through a simply aligned foundation. Now, two angles to change how you see where you stand now. Number one, what does thought do to you? And what does trying to be spiritual do to you? Write about those. Now, why those who want never get. The energy which drives want tends to be of a weak essence. You can feel the contrast between weak and strong energy. Yeah. And I could go more into all those, but it's the recap. So I leave you with those. If you want to write more, question yourself. What does the recap mean to you? Yes, do it. Now, summary balance is not a 50-50 thing. Sometimes you'll need to feel the pain of dissatisfaction and let that burn up so that you realize that resistance toward what is does not make sense. So then you still work hard, but it's not hard work anymore. Yes, yes. Let's go. This so enjoyable for me to share. That's almost all I can say. And if any of you feel that joy through listening, hey, hey, we're rocking. What can I say? So, new episodes are out every Monday, every Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you want to learn more, just click the link in the description. First, you'll get your free premium journaling prompts. And second, you'll get access to my new 11-page doc, How to Reduce Stress and Anxiety. Bonus, 2 to 4 new weekly emails. Grab the free gift. Let's go.